We're going to go ahead and get started. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Elliston Fire Department, where we're celebrating our 55 years of serving you, the community. We've kind of been a fixture in the community for the past 55 years. I'd also like to support everybody, or like to thank everyone for their support for the past years. If you would at this time, those of you that are able, please stand while we present the colors. That will follow with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Color guard, present arms. Order arms.
If you would please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Detail, present arms.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order arms. Color guard, dismissed.
If you would please remain standing, we'll ask our Assistant Chief Chaplain, Clyde Hodges, to lead us in a word of prayer.
Would you join with me, please? Our Father, we are so grateful to you for allowing us to serve our community for 55 years. We're thankful, Father, for the dedication of people who 55 years ago had a vision of needs in this community. We're thankful, Lord, for their faithful service that they've given here. We're grateful for these men that continue to offer that service today. We ask for your continued watch, care, and blessings over us. We thank you for your goodness. Thank you for watching over us. Thank you for our guests that are here today. Bless all that we do. We love you and we praise you. In Christ's name I pray. Amen.
Amen.
You can be seated. Well, welcome everybody again. Like I said, today, as a fire department, we're here to celebrate 55 years of service. During today's events, we're going to have a little short history lesson about the fire department. We got some guest speakers. We're going to recognize our past chiefs. We're going to recognize our current members, and also some special awards to be given out. After the ceremony is over with, there's refreshments in the big meeting room. We got our trucks on display. We've got kids smoke trailer. We just acquired from Christiansburg Fire Department. So that'll be out there. And if weather holds off, I think Clyde's offered to take some people for a ride on the Argo, the off-road vehicle, which I think people will enjoy seeing and riding in that. Starting off with the history lesson, in when he got started, the department was formed, and the first day that the department was formed, they had a call. Come in at 2:30 that afternoon. The report says he got back at 4:30. And it was a brush fire at what they call the Shawsman City Dump. They had one truck. But that's something we look back. Call reports are in the folders back there on the tables if anybody wants to look back through them and so forth. Back then, and if you are here today, I'm going to read the names of the members who joined on April 26, 1957. And if you are, if you would, please stand. First one I have is Robert Michael Mickey Apgar. He was 17 years old at the time. He was a student. Next one, Ward A. Atkins of Shawsman, 44. He was a postmaster. Next one is Grant E. Bryant. He was 31 years old. He was a mortician. Bryant Funeral Home. Alfred Correll, Shawsman, 56, bookkeeper. Danny Wallace Hall, Elliston, 17 years old. Dooley Wallace Hall, Elliston, 49, contractor. William Stanley Hendricks, 33, postmaster. William Robert Bill Long, Elliston, 26, Big Spring Mill. Woodrow Long, Elliston, 45, Big Spring Mill. Robert Masley, Shawsville, 27. He was a teacher and a coach at Montgomery County Schools. Thomas Raleigh Miles Jr. from El Rancho, worked at the Veterans Administration, 35 years old. Kenneth Edward Mitchell of Elliston, 17 years of age. Albert Wilson Pierman, Shawsville, 44. He was in maintenance at Montgomery County Schools. James E. Pierman of Shawsville, 31. He was a banker, Bank of Shawsville. Sherman Reese of Elliston, 19, bus driver, Montgomery County Schools. Oscar St. Clair of Elliston, 52, mechanic at Hercules. Marvin L. Pug Wells. Didn't have anything else on his application. Mark White, Shawsman, 53, banker, Bank of Shawsman. And George June Williams, Sr., 34, Shawsman Service Station. These are the guys that got together and formed this thing. That was 55 years ago. And there's Mr. Hodges here. I'm sure there's still some that's still around that couldn't be here today. But, you know, back then they had one truck. Like I said, they answered the first call on day one that it opened up. And that year, when it was formed, they answered 9 calls. 55 years later now, we run between 300 and 350 calls. We have a whole lot more trucks. Basically, we've got 2 brush trucks, 2 engines, 2 tankers, mini pumper, squad that you see sitting behind me, 3 response vehicles, swift water vehicle, 2 boats and the Argo, and recently acquired the fire prevention trailer out there. We're very fortunate to have all this equipment. We couldn't do it without your support and without the support of our board of supervisors. So thank y'all. We appreciate it. At this time, I'd like to ask Assistant Chief Clyde Hodges to come up and introduce our guest speakers.
Granddaddy Hall, how would I look? Those are some old guys, weren't they? We're glad to have you folks here today and to celebrate 55 years with us. It's our pleasure to serve this community and to have the kind of support in the community that we have. We have some special guests here today. I see some of the other board members that came in, and would you ladies like to speak?
We're just happy to be here and celebrate with you all.
Ms. Mary Biggs and Ms. Annette Perkins, it's good to have you, you 3 ladies with us. We also have Supervisor Bill Brown and Supervisor Gary Creed and Neal Turner, our Emergency Service Coordinator, is also with us. And they've got some things they want to share with us. The group, we also have some fire chiefs with us today. I see Chief Woody Henderson, Roanoke County's here. It's good to have you, and it's good to have all of you here. There's going to be some special recognition of some other people a little bit later in the program, but I just want to introduce these gentlemen to you. They're going to come and share some words of wisdom with us young people that are here today. So you listen in. Mr. Brown, turn it over to you.
Words of wisdom, is that what you said? Good afternoon, and thank you for inviting me to be a part of your celebration today. On behalf of the Board of Supervisors, it gives me great pleasure to say congratulations. It was almost exactly 4 years ago today, on April 26, 2008, that we were celebrating the grand opening of this wonderful facility. From the original station built in 1958 to serve a small community of 2,500 residents to the state-of-the-art station serving our community today, this department has been both an anchor and a beacon. When we look at 55 years of service, it equates to 20,075 days of service to the citizens of Eastern Montgomery. In 1957, when this department was first established, what do you think items cost back then? In 1957, we paid $1 for a gallon of milk. We paid 75 cents for a Swanson's TV dinner, and that dinner had meat in it. We paid 30 cents for a pound of hamburger, really ground beef instead of ground fat today. We paid 10 cents for a can of Campbell's soup. We paid 19 cents for a head of lettuce. We paid 25 cents for a 16-ounce box of saltine crackers. The most popular song in 1957 was "Too Much" by Elvis Presley. I'm sure there's a few of you guys out there remember that. The most popular movie in 1957 was The Ten Commandments. The most popular TV show, Gunsmoke. And people said it didn't, of course, they didn't have violence on the TV back then. Well, Matt killed quite a few, didn't he? As I continue, let me say thank you to the volunteers. Thank you for your many selfless contributions you continue to make in making living in Eastern Montgomery a special place to live. The gift you give is beyond all measure, worth too much to count away. To us, it is a priceless treasure. It grows in value day by day. Your service, compassion, and commitment and care inspire us all, and it sets you apart. You give of yourself with the time you share. Volunteers, please accept our thanks and appreciation for your service. When you give back, you grow as a person and as a professional. It becomes a part of what makes you successful. Some of my beliefs about volunteers are as follows. I believe that you can keep going long after you think you can. I believe heroes are people who do what has to be done regardless of the consequences. I believe that even when you think you have no more to give, when someone cries out to you, you will find the strength to help. This quote from the great Sir Winston Churchill is so fitting today. You make a living by what you earn. You make a life by what you give. I also say thank you to the wonderful, loving families who support these volunteers in every special way, especially the wives who may have taken time to prepare a special meal just for their husbands and have him jump up and respond to a fire call. I say thank you for continuing to provide that love and support that all volunteers need and value. Countless calls have been answered, lives have been saved, and homes and property protected due to the tireless devotion and commitment of you, the volunteers, over the past 55 years. Chief Pug Wells, who is dearly missed by all, and before, Wallace Hall and all the others who served as chief, represent the best of our county, state, and nation. As Susan Diane Murphy said, firemen never die. They just burn forever in the hearts of the people whose lives they saved. This legacy continues as I especially want to recognize the new graduates from the Fire Academy and your junior members. With the commitment of these volunteers, we can be assured the department is well poised to take on the challenges of today and tomorrow. Again, thank you for inviting me to this special occasion. Best wishes for many, many more years of success. Thank you.
Mr. Craig, you going to come?
Good afternoon. I was told not to take more than 55 minutes. It says right here, no more than 5.5 minutes. Yeah, I guess I need to shorten it rather than lengthen it up. First of all, I would like to thank you for allowing me to take part in such a wonderful and joyous occasion. And I'd like to recognize the fact that it takes a very special person to become a fireman. I have found a person who is dedicated in being a great fireman is also a great father, brother, husband, neighbor, citizen, uncle, nephew, son. You get the picture. Just in general, a very great person. I would also like to recognize the moms, girlfriends, wives, children, all of the folks who have given countless hours of their time in being here to back up the firemen, to feed them, and to nurse them before they can get back out and go. I would be amiss if I didn't honor and recognize Chief Bug Wells for all of his contributions to not only the fire department, but for all of Montgomery County, where he worked tirelessly on many committees and boards for many years. We will miss him. As we celebrate the 55th year of the Elliston Volunteer Fire Department, I know that you are in good hands with your new chief. Chief Joe Rakes is extremely qualified and will take us all forward in his
with his great leadership. In closing, just let me say a word about volunteering. And what is a volunteer? He or she is, by definition, someone who wants to help others. Other people with all sorts of different needs. These volunteers are people that I look up to the most. They give the one thing we cannot replace. They give the time. And they are the backbone and heart of their neighborhood. I would ask that if you are not a volunteer and would like to become someone that others look up to, you should volunteer. Because to volunteer is the greatest and most honorable thing one can do for their country, state, county, or neighborhood. I wish you all well and hope you have another great 55 years. Thanks for allowing me to take part in this celebration, and God bless you all.
I'm sorry, I was told Neal was going to say something, but he told me he didn't want to say anything, but he is, I wanted to let y'all know he's a preacher, and I'm a Sunday school teacher, and he asked if I would help with the collection. If you didn't bring money, watches and rings, you do.
We've got a number in mind.
At this time, I'd like to introduce some members of the fire department and let you know how long they've been serving with the department. It's the guys that's sitting here behind me. And we'll start out. We've got one gentleman sitting in the back, Artist Connor. He's applied with us. His application's under review right now, and Tuesday night he comes up for a vote. So since he's put his application in, he's here about every Tuesday night. He helped set up for this event and so forth. So I look forward to the Tuesday night that we will vote. Thank you, Ross. Our current probation members, Evan Collins is not here, 4 months. Troy Loving has been here 6 months. You would stand. David Curry has been with us for 5 months. Our junior members is Hunter Allen. He's been with us for 7 months. Chris Nichols has been with us for 2 years. Erica Rakes, 3 years. Travis Cook, 6 years. John Akers, not with us, been here for 7. James Carden, 2 years. Billy Cook, 25 years. Robert Hall, 5 years. Paul Burrell, 2 years. Bill Jennings, 20 years. Ray Lawrence, 2 years. James Leach, 21 years. Steve Palmer, 19 years. David Reese, 4 years. Abraham Rivera, 4 years. Josh Tickle, 6 years. Larry Tickle, 5 years. And Larry would be here today, but he just had a knee replacement on Tuesday, and he's doing well. But we sure do miss him. And Darrell Wells, 25 years. Don Robertson, 51 years. Leading into our engineers and officers, Benny Ryder is our 4th engineer. been with us 7 years. Our third engineer, Mark Eagle, has been here 18 years. Our second engineer, Jeremy Compton, 5 years. First engineer, J.R. Lawrence, been here for 3 years. Second lieutenant, Will Go, 3 years. Second lieutenant, Joe Kingery, 25 years. First lieutenant, Craig Helvey, 7 years. Captain, Raymond Rakes, 10 years. Assistant Chief, Clyde Hodges, 35 years. These are the members of our department.
They would have known, right?
18 years I've been serving. This time, Lieutenant Helvey and Assistant Chief Hodges come forward. We're going to do some special presentations. The first presentation that we have today, we'd like to ask Charlie Yacht, if you would come forward, please. Charlie Yacht's been the forest warden here in Montgomery County for 42 years. He's been a big supporter of the fire department. About the time brush season rolls around, Charlie tries to make sure we got nice brush rakes and equipment that we may need, brush gear and so forth, so when we're called out there to help him, we're prepared. So a couple weeks ago, we decided that we'd like to make Charlie an honorary member of the fire department. Now's the time Neal gets to speak. We got a special presentation Neal's going to make on behalf of Montgomery County.
Yeah. Like I said, we have a number in mind, so if we don't get it, we'll go back again. I heard the church that did that one time. It's hard to follow Bill Brown, Gary Creed, but I wanted to share with you just for a moment. It's an honor for Montgomery County Emergency Services. Now, I'm an army of one, but when that army gets activated, that's 390-some volunteers that come to the table. And I'm excited to be a part here today. Elliston Fire Department has such a rich history of service to their community and other communities when they're called on. There's no shortage. Anytime that we have a call, wherever it is in the county, my phone rings and somebody from Elliston says, we've got a team. When you're ready, we'll come. So that's especially supportive of everybody in the county. Members and their families, all too often, we forget about the families that are left behind and the things that they get to do. Paul Hall and I were talking there just a little bit ago. I've been doing this for 35 years, but the other 20, I was a drug addict. My mom and daddy drugged me when the fire alarm went off, and I went with them. And that was a pretty special time, too. I'm honored to call each of you at Elliston Fire Department my friends. I know that when that tone sounds that there's somebody on the way. I also like the approach that y'all make. Usually at 2:30 in the morning they call and say, we've got this covered, but we just wanted to let you know. And I can pretty well go back to sleep. But I do want to share with you just one story that I think is important. When Chief Wells decided that he would not be chief any longer, he came and he told me that he had capable people. And he was proud of that fact, and he knew that he had assisted in making sure that those people were prepared. So Joe was elected, and Joe went to the chief and he said, "Chief, there's things I just don't know how to do. Can you give me any advice that will work for every situation?" Chief Wells told him, said, "Joe, when you get in difficult times, show them your badge." So a week later, Joe's this new fire chief, 1 week behind him, still green, still trying to figure it out. He gets a call and they said that they're making moonshine at a farm up the road. Joe goes in and walks up to the farmer and he said, "I want to inspect your barn." He said, "I wouldn't do that." Joe said, "You see this badge? I can do anything I want to do. I'm the fire chief." The guy said, "Well, I wouldn't go in there." Joe said, "Excuse me, you didn't understand me. You see this badge, I can stop any operation that you've got." The farmer said, "Have it your way." Joe went in that barn, and what he didn't know, there was a bull in there that had an attitude of his own. And about the third time around the outside of that barn, as Joe was running and screaming to that farmer to give him some help, that bull right on his heels, the harder Joe would run, the faster the bull was right there. And he kept looking over at that farmer and he said, "Help me!" The farmer looked back and he said, "Show him your badge." So he showed him your badge. God grant you all the strength and the ability to continue to serve. And I want to tell you today that in the event that I'm not here for the 100th anniversary, I want you to know that I'm still going to be just as proud as I am today to be here for the 55th anniversary. In 2003, a gentleman by the name of Bill Aldridge came to the county and said, "I think we need to recognize the members of the departments that have been on for a period of time, and we'll select a specific year. And we want to reward them with something that they can show and wear every day and tell people, I'm a member of that department." They began to recognize the fire and rescue personnel for 10 years of service by giving them a ring of recognition or a ring of honor. These rings included the person's name, typically their radio number or something that was special to them, a number that was special to them, an emblem or a symbol of the fire service. And today, it's my honor, just so happens that it wound up being his 10th anniversary this year. I'm happy to present that ring of honor to Captain Raymond Rakes for his 10 years of service.
I do.
Last time I handed Raymond a ring, he said to say I do afterwards. So, but I thank you for the opportunity to be here and be a part of this, and I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of the family here at Elliston Fire Department. God bless you.
We're going to recognize some of the members for some outstanding years of service. We call your name, if you would step forward and be presented. Mark Evil, been here 18 years. Mark's not with us today. He had to work. Mr. Steve Palmer, 19 years. Bill Jennings, 20 years. Bill's not with us today. Mr. James Leach, 21 years. As you can see, the award's getting a little bit bigger, so the guys have been around a little bit longer. Firefighter Billy Cook, 25 years. Firefighter Darrell Wells, 25 years. Lieutenant Joe Kingery, 25 years. Assistant Chief Clyde Hodges, 35 years. And one member that's still active with us is the life member, John Ross, 51 years. This time, we're going to turn it over to Ladies Auxiliary. I think they have a presentation they would like to make.
I really don't need the mic, but I'll try to be like, y'all all know I have a big voice, thank you. We just, the ladies all got together and decided that we wanted to recognize one of our members that's done a lot for us and for this place. And Mary Lee, we just want to give you this plaque. The Ladies Auxiliary wouldn't have actually began if it wasn't for her. She started it and she's been hanging in there forever. And this is the plaque may not be word for word, but it's for her support and dedication to the Elliston Volunteer Fire Department. For her past president, she's been the president for a long time. We love you. You're welcome. We could do a group hug. We like to hug.
Now it's time to recognize our past chiefs, those that kind of got things started for us and served along the way. There's 3 in attendance today that we will recognize, but I will call out the names of the other past chiefs and so forth. I think the very first chief we had here, his name was Wallace Hall. Mr. Hall's father, he served us 4 years as chief. There was another gentleman that served 1 year as chief named Edward Vest. Mr. Danny Hall, if you would come forward, please, served us 2 years as chief. We have a certificate of appreciation for him. Danny, he was chief way before I come around and got started and so forth, but when I need a little bit of advice, a little wisdom and so forth, I know where to find him. Go down Northwest Hardware and walk up and down the aisles with him and pick his brain a little bit. We had a little conversation here a while back, right after I took over and so forth, walking down the aisleway of the hardware store, and he gave me some good advice, and I appreciate that. The next gentleman, Mr. Hugh Durham. Hugh served his 8 years as chief. Back when Hugh served as chief, I was a little guy hanging around the fire department with my father and so forth. Clyde says he was too. But little things about Hugh I can remember is, of course, Hugh owns a Corvette shop at Christiansburg. It's always something I wanted to do one night, and that was ride in a Corvette. And I got to ride in one from the old fire station home. It was peach colored. And after I got home, I didn't know if I wanted to ride in another one or not. It felt like my butt dragged the road all the way up the road. But Hugh did a lot for the department. Matter of fact, he had a hand in, I think, creating or building the first brush truck that Montgomery County ever had. Took a pickup truck, built a tank, put the hose reel and the pumps and so forth on it. And the design that they came up with, you remember how many years ago it might have been? Back in the 70s. It's still holding true today in this department. We feel like that's one of the best trucks that we got. And it's a pickup truck with pump stuff in the back, and we can take and go up in the mountains and in the woods and so forth. So you had a hand in getting that started. Next gentleman was Clyde Hodges. Clyde served chief as 1 year. The other gentleman that served right at 40-some years is Chief Wells. The night prior to Chief Wells passing away, the department decided that today we was going to recognize him. We voted, and what we voted on was to name him Chief Emeritus. Chief Emeritus status may be executed to a volunteer public servant on the basis of merit, exhibit through distinguished service to protecting the citizens of Eastern Montgomery County. To qualify for nominations, a person must have spent a significant period of time immediately prior to recognition of distinguished, that's a big long word, I'm not skilled, and volunteer services as a rank of assistant chief or chief at the time of recognition. The members of the Elliston Volunteer Fire Department recommends the status of Chief Emeritus to Neal Wells, who has announced his intentions to seek the office of chief, or not seek the office of chief, after more than 40-some years in that office. Pug has rendered significant volunteer services as the only remaining active family member of the fire department, which was established in 1957. His service has stretched over 55 years to preserve the safety and security of the citizens of Eastern Montgomery County communities, and those life demonstrates an extraordinary role model to the community for his leadership and services. Thus, his fellow members, the guys behind me, of the Elliston Volunteer Fire Department, awards the honor of Chief Emeritus because of his outstanding character and because he has rendered conspicuous service as chief through the growth of the department over the past 40-some years. By the authority of the membership of the Elliston Fire Department, I confer upon Chief Wells, Chief Emeritus, if his family would. We have a plaque that we're presenting to the family that has that on that as Chief Emeritus. And while y'all are here, we also have one other that we want to give you. That same night, we asked Chief to walk out of the room so we could vote on something. And we decided to honor him for his service, not only as Chief Emeritus, but just to give him something to keep, and so forth. And we came up with what's called a clay pipe, stuff they used back in the day that they fought fires with and so forth. So at this time, Assistant Chief Hodges will present it to the family. About ready to wrap this thing up, guys. I couldn't do this job without the support of these guys behind me. Chief Wells, he did a lot on his own. He had the time to do it. He was retired. I'm not. I work a full-time job, and I have to depend on these guys behind me. When I took the position, they all guaranteed me that they would step up and help me out, and they have done so. And I really appreciate it. In closing, I'd like to thank Ladies Auxiliary for helping with the foods and stuff of that nature and all. Remember that we got the refreshments and so forth back there. But before I close, I did forget one thing, and I will apologize. But let me back up here a minute. Life members. I know we got a couple in attendance today, and I meant to recognize them, and I apologize. Stevie Dock, if you would stand, please. Stevie's a life member of the Elliston Volunteer Fire Department. Another life member in attendance is my father, Bruce Rakes. Other life members of the department is Scott Bradford, Baron Gibson, Lee Hale, Richard Harris, Jeff Hodges, Jimmy Trump, Chris Walker, and Warren Walker. And I apologize for that part of it. Getting ready to close out. May the 19th, Elliston Fire Department's having a fundraiser, spaghetti dinner. Starts at 4 p.m., goes to 7 p.m. It'll be held here at the fire station. Next weekend, if you like chicken barbecue, I'm going to tell you right now, you need to go right on down the street, Fort Lewis Fire Department. Starts at 4 o'clock, is that right, Chief? Them guys start about 4 o'clock in the morning cooking the chickens and stuff. You need to go down there. It's the best chicken in this end of the county or state. So, I'd like to help them out. I also like to thank you guys for y'all's support that y'all give us. We really appreciate it. Argo rides to take place afterwards, hopefully. For the children, we got the smoke trailer right here. Right there, a little lesson about fire safety. And refreshments will be served in the big meeting hall. Unless somebody else wants to speak.